Some weeks feel like the crypto world is trying to sprint while juggling chainsaws. This one, pretty close. Before we get moving, a quick word for the people who keep this channel running. A few viewers asked how they can support the work, so there is a small donation details tucked away in the description. Only if you ever feel like helping out. No pressure, nothing dramatic, just there. Let's begin with something tangible, a feature release that has quickly sparked conversation across the internet computer community. Caffeine, the AI powered app building platform running on ICP, has introduced what it calls click to edit. The idea is simple enough where instead of describing design changes through long text prompts, you can click directly on elements inside your layout and tell the AI what to adjust. Buttons, images, text fields, spacing, the sort of things that normally require either guesswork or manual coding can now be modified instantly. It's the kind of update that sounds minor until you use it. Text based prompts can often feel like trying to explain a sketch to someone over the phone. Something always gets lost. Click to edit trims that gap by giving users a way to interact with drafts as if they were already working inside a design tool. For hobbyists or smaller teams, this is a difference maker. Instead of wrestling with instructions, they can simply point, click, and refine. Community feedback has been lively. The feature is being praised for the level of precision it gives. Christopher, a developer working closely with Caffeine, said it offers much tighter control because you no longer need to explain which component you are referencing. You just click it. Rhiannon Thomas from Quantum Leap Lab called it a huge update that makes building smoother. Another user, Sam On-Chain, said each release removes friction and that this update feels like a step towards a future where apps can edit themselves on-chain. Fabio added that Caffeine will continue rolling out new features, echoing Dom's stance that the platform is nowhere near done evolving. Of course, the enthusiasm comes with caveats. Some builders noted that complex, multi layered layouts might still require several steps. Others pointed out that having no multi select option yet makes certain tasks slower than they could be. There are also concerns about projects with long chat histories becoming harder for the AI to process efficiently. These are natural growing pains, but they highlight how quickly expectations rise once a tool starts smoothing out the rough edges. Still, the general feeling is that click to edit brings AI native UX closer to something tangible. It blends automation with hands on direction, giving users more control without dragging them into technical detail. And because the whole system runs on the internet computer, the logic behind the apps lives on chain, not on an external backend. That leads us neatly into the second story, which comes from Dom, who posted a detailed comparison of the code bases behind several major layer 1 blockchains. It's a topic most people don't spend time examining, yet it helps explain why some networks behave the way they do. Dom outlined the number of lines inside each network's client software, which is the core code that makes the blockchain function. ICP sits at around 1.1 million lines of Rust code for its network client. Sui and Solana follow with just over half a million each. Aptos slightly below that, Near at around 350K and Avalanche at 280K lines of Go. That sparked plenty of discussion. Some saw ICP's size as evidence of depth, modularity, and on-chain capability. Fabio, weighing in, said the numbers are useful but hardly tell the full story. He suggested comparing the useful work produced by each chain, noting that a single ICP subnet performs more work than several major networks combined. Dom's response was measured. Raw line counts don't automatically equate to performance or user experience. He compared it to storing a 3.3 MP photo on a phone. The quantity tells you something, but not everything. How the chain behaves, what it enables, and how efficient it is depend on underlying design choices, not just code volume. One community member asked a broader question: do these metrics translate into change for users? Do they drive adoption? Do they shape loyalty? Dom acknowledged that the table is only a partial view. Rust heavy clients might reflect architectural ambition, but when comparing networks with fundamentally different approaches, numbers can't capture nuance. Our third story is a quick one. Oshi Quest, a lightweight dApp on ICP, is turning community education into simple Telegram quizzes. Anyone can host a round, point users to a video or post, and reward the top players automatically. It is an easy way for projects to drive engagement without asking people to learn new tools. Each session runs across linked Telegram groups with a small on chain viewer for anyone following along. It is designed to bring more eyes to content without overcomplicating the experience, and it sits alongside the OHSHII launcher, which will soon tie trivia rewards to new token distributions through Cloud Protocol. It is not meant to be a grand system. It is simply a neat way to turn curiosity into short interactions, which is often all crypto communities need. Now for the final story, which sits outside blockchain yet affects the environment it operates in. The Federal Reserve's overnight repo operations saw a sudden jump of $13.5 billion. dollars. That is one of the largest one night liquidity injections since the volatility of 2020. Repos are a normal part of bank funding. A bank hands over US Treasury securities, receives cash, and reverses the trade later. What caught attention here was the size. It suggests banks needed a quick source of short term liquidity. Analysts are divided. Some think this might be related to month end balance sheet management. Others believe it may reflect tighter liquidity conditions influenced by interest rate shifts and the Fed's ongoing balance sheet reduction. Banks have been managing reserves more carefully since 2022, and these swings often show up in repo activity before they appear anywhere else. The Fed has not commented. The next few operations will show whether this was a one off need or an early sign of the system adjusting again. One spike does not indicate stress, but it adds to an already growing conversation about liquidity in the US financial system. Across these four stories, an AI design tool, a technical code comparison, a light but clever communication method, and a sudden move in American funding markets, the common theme is pace. The industry is moving quickly, and each shift raises questions about how users and builders adapt. And as mentioned earlier, donations are welcome but never expected. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.